Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the call. I'm Ray Madorin. My wife, Barb, and I are master coordinators, and we live in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we're your hosts for tonight's call. For those of you that are new and maybe joining us, for the first time, or maybe your guests, this is our monthly OPA call, OPA. These calls are hosted by the master coordinator organizations that began with Mary and Gary Loomis and has continued and grown under their son, Rob. OPA stands for Organic Products Associates. That's the name that Mary and Gary gave their business organization, because they knew even in the very early days that their Shackley business would grow beyond the place where people would know the names of the early mentors and masters, and they wanted to create a family legacy. The OPA organization has grown today where it is doing over $10 million in sales annually with over 300 business leaders and 10 master coordinator teams, and that includes 2 presidential masters. So that's a little bit about the OPA organization and its history. And by the way, this call is being recorded and archived on the website opastuff.org. So if some of your people could, not be on the call tonight, and you can send them to opastuff.org, and they can listen to it, or maybe you just want to re-listen to it yourself. I'm now going to turn the meeting over to Barb, who will introduce our very special guests for this evening. And I have to tell you that Barb and I have gotten to know Graham and his wife, Allison, and I have to tell you, we just think the world of them. So, Barb, you want to introduce Graham?
Sure. Welcome, Graham. And I know that Allie is in the background. You may speak about her or speak to her or of her later on. But Graham and Allie are 4th-level executive coordinators in our organization. They're from Ontario, Canada, and they own a gym, and they started in Shackley 5 or 6 years ago. And they have really developed a love for Shackley and what it offers. They run high PV, 6,000 to 8,000 plus every single month. They've qualified for various dream trips and achievers trips. They're solid, grounded people who really love Shackley. And in addition to the gym, which takes the best part of their time along with their 3 boys, Allie is also an author. She wrote a book last year called Making the Switch, How to Put Yourself First in a World That Tells You Not to. And she talks about how moms, live with a lot of guilt sometimes and how they can get past that. And I know when I read it originally, I thought, oh, my gosh, I can relate to that when our kids were little, but also even today. So wonderful book. She's also a power lifter and a competitor in that sport. So they have a lot of things going. Their gym is closed right now, as they are everywhere. But Graham came up with an idea last year that is proving to be very effective. And so with that, Graham, I'm just going to let you talk about what you do.
Very good. Thank you. I'm ready to take control whenever we can here. So thank you very much, Barb and Ray, for having me on, and I'm just going to wait for my screen to allow me here. There we go. You should all be able to see my screen shortly. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed the technology works well.
Yes.
There we go. I just want to start with saying when I say we, I will say we often. I talk for my wife sometimes, maybe I shouldn't. Sometimes she volunteers me for things too. But I think we can honestly say we love being a part of Shackley. We love being a part of the OPA organization. Allison and I have gotten to, like Barb and Ray said, been on a few trips and got to meet many of our OPA leaders, including Rob, as well as Barb and Ray, and we just feel like we're really in the right place. I think we were put and found in the exact right place, and we've really been able to make Shackley a part of what we got. So I'm very thankful, first and foremost, to be able to be on this call and to get to talk to the rest of my OPA family, but I will get right to it. So you can see a title screen there. This is the good-looking guy on the right, that's me, and the better-looking girl on the left, that's my wife, Allison. She's the true rock star of this whole thing, I believe. But together we're a team, and we have a Shackley business, like Barb and Ray said, but we also have a studio and an online training program called The Switch. But I wanted to kind of start by addressing, say the elephant in the room, and it's that the world is in a crazy place right now. I think we can all agree. This is, as far as my few years being on the planet, absolutely unprecedented. Schools are closed everywhere. People are scared. Like, life has changed. Life has been upended for many people. And there's this underlying tone of anxiousness and uncertainty. And that's not a bad thing at all. But I also believe it provides all of us a unique opportunity as well, because I think there's always an opportunity to do good in a not so good time. And we want to do our part in being proactive about how we deal with the situation and how we can help support people and how we can, run our business maybe even better and help others to do the same. So, but first, before I get into all that fun stuff, you might want to know who the guy is that you're that's talking over the line to you right now. There's a picture of me again on the left and my family there to the right. That is a picture of me, I think it's even on my birthday, which was, it was like World something day, I forget. I was at the Shackley New Directors Conference in San Francisco a few years back, and we were asked to do some cleaning of some parks, which actually turned out to be really fun. But that is me standing in the park in San Francisco at the New Directors trip. And my wife there to the right, you saw a picture of her earlier, but you didn't meet the three little hooligans that came from our relationship. So the top fella here in the middle is Andrew. He is my oldest boy. He is 8 years old. He is like an engineer in making. He can build everything. He's incredibly creative. It's just getting him to focus on something other than Lego for more than 10 minutes. That is something that we struggle with that one. To the bottom right, we have Levi. Levi is now 6. This is my natural athlete, natural student. He seems to just be good at everything he does. But he's also the middle child, so he's learning how to balance between the two. And the bottom left here, that is my wild card. That is my Zachy, my Zachary. He is 3 years old, going on 4 this year. I can just say he's a mix of the two, and he knows how to keep the rest of them and all of us busy. So we own and operate a little business. It's called New You Personal Training Studio. And I'm from a small town of about 10,000 people called Listowel, Ontario, Canada. And actually, I started this business as a boot camp with about 8 people in a park a block away from my home. And over the last 5 years, we've been able to grow it to over 180 members in a 5,000 square foot facility now, which is now closed, obviously, because of not being able to be in there. But we've still been able to transition and shift our business really quickly online because of what I'm going to talk to you a bit about today. But I will say Shackley is absolutely a part of that business. The online side of things actually came from what Allison calls her epic mummy meltdown, where we had our 3rd child. We were now running the studio. At that time, I believe we were still where we just transitioned from the gym, and we had our Shackley business. So she had 3 little boys, I believe under the age of 5 at that point, and she was pulling her hair out, I think. But she was doing what all good moms do, quote unquote, which is do everything for everybody else first, and you get what is left over at the end of the day, which quite frankly is not very much. And you can only endure that for so long, and I think many moms struggle with this, and they struggle with, like Barb said, the guilt factor of doing this. So when I found my wife, I asked her one question, and the question was, what do you need? And that one question then spurred this online program for busy moms to help teach them how to put themselves first and to actually ask the question of what is it that you need, and then be able to go out and find it and execute it and make fitness and healthy living a part of their life. So Allison, again, like Barb said, wrote an international best-selling book. It's an Amazon bestseller in 7 different countries in 4 different categories, and top 3 in 10 different countries, which is really cool. So she's actually been doing television experiences. She was just recently on Las Vegas Morning. She has been on television in Canada as well, up in Ottawa, doing a morning show. She has done, I think, 6 or 7 different podcasts, both in Canada and the United States, and various other talking engagements because of this. So, like I said, she's the rock star here. I just get to support it on the other side of things. But all that being said, I want you to understand through and through, we are Shaklee people. Okay, we decided when we made Shaklee a part of our business that it wasn't just going to be something to make an extra buck off of here and there. It was going to become a part of everything that we do. It was a way that we felt we could serve our clients better by giving them the best quality products that are actually proven and safe for them, that would actually help them get the result that they were ultimately looking for, and then support all other areas of their life as well. So you can see here on my screen, on the far right, it's literally a picture of a display that we have in our studio so that we always have product on hand that we sell to our clients. The next one in from the right, that is me with Jessica and Christopher Page in Machu Picchu, standing up at the top of the mountain, overlooking Machu Picchu, because we were able to earn the Machu Picchu trip. And the neat thing, Allison was pregnant, I believe, at that time. I believe she was pregnant with Zach at that time, so she wasn't able to travel. So I was actually able to take my brother on that trip. Shaklee made an exception for me, which was fantastic. So my brother got to travel with me. The very first Shaklee trip, it's interesting, the very first Shaklee trip I ever took, I brought my parents because my wife couldn't come because I think she was pregnant with one of the other ones. Anyways, I've been able to travel, see more of the world because of Shaklee. And as you can see on the left, I was there to meet the 2 fabulous people at the top, which I thoroughly enjoy and love. And it was fantastic to meet Roger, as all of you who have, and have heard him speak. He is a fantastic speaker, and he just resonated with me through each when I met him. But I want you to understand what our mission is and why I'm here in the first place. My mission and our mission with The Switch and with our business in general is to teach moms how to put themselves first in a world that tells them not to. That way they can become a healthy leader in their home. And I want you to understand my why behind this. I believe that if we can get to the mom in the home, I can get to the children and ultimately to the rest of the household. It's a strong belief that I have always had. It goes back years and years for me, because I've also recognized that moms do control often, not in all cases, but often the food that comes in and that is being prepared, and a lot of the choices for physical activity that do end up happening. So the dad's not involved, is that mom is often very much spearheading a lot of this process. And my goal is ultimately not just to get to mom, it's to get to the kids, because I was that kid. I was a kid, and I actually watched my mom suffer and struggle with her health my whole life. She tried to be active and then would fail, and tried to do a diet and then would fail, and tried to go walking for a while and then she would fail. And ultimately I just watched her confidence erode. And that wasn't okay for me, because my superhero struggled. And I decided that I wanted to take on this mission of helping moms, because I was that kid, and I didn't want other kids to have to watch their superhero struggle. And I knew if I could get to them, I could get to the kid. All right? The cool thing is, when we integrate Shaklee, we see these new opportunities. And I say it's a problem, but I also say opportunity when I write this. And I truly believe Shaklee has amazing resources for its people. They continue to develop these things over time, these programs that are coming in. The one that I'm going to kind of talk specifically about tonight is the Prove It Challenge. And I think it's phenomenal, because it's streamlining a process of bringing people into the company. And it's an opportunity for people to get quick cash. I've seen, it's easy. You sell it and you get your bonus in your bank account the next day. I mean, that's phenomenal. We used to have to wait till we get paid once a month. Now we're getting paid every day should we get that opportunity. So I've also noticed, though, that some people target the Prove It Challenge specifically, and I have a feeling that the immunity thing is kind of going to go the same way. Maybe I'm wrong. That people are interested just in the quick cash and not necessarily as interested in the long-term integrating people into their Shackley business properly. Right? I would rather make the bonus quick, get the cash in quick, especially if I'm a new person. I'm not necessarily talking about, seasoned Shackley businesses, but new people coming in. They're looking for quick cash, and that's great. That's a great way to bring them in. But it's not converting long-term the same way, which can lead to burnout. Another problem that I've seen, and this isn't a Shackley problem, I believe this is a network marketing problem in general, or direct selling problem, whatever we want to call it, is everybody's selling the same thing. And when it comes to business and when it comes to marketing, we usually want to try to find some kind of unique selling proposition. We want to be unique because if everybody's saying the same thing and selling the same thing, who do I buy from? And it creates confusion possibly for the buyer. So it leaves very little room to differentiate in your business that others might not be seeing. And then we get to the other problem or the other opportunity that I come to. And I say this because I operate a fitness business, but I have found in my conversations at these various trips that I've gone to and various events that I've gone to when I've met Shackley people, and this isn't just the Shackley thing, again, this is other companies as well, many of them covet gym owners or personal trainers as getting them into their business or downline. Many of them have a very difficult time convincing them to start carrying Shackley, and that's due mostly to the head trash of trainers around supplementation in general because they're not educated about the quality of Shackley. And most of them are terrified because they understand the lack of quality in the rest of the supplement industry. So it's very hard to kind of talk a personal trainer or a gym into joining you unless you have a really solid relationship. And it's probably still even then going to take time. And then when you do get a gym or a trainer underneath you as a distributor, you don't always know how to help them build it into their existing business. And that's, again, not necessarily your fault. It's because gyms and trainers often, they're very scattered. I'm just talking across the board here. We're kind of stubborn. We're busy. We just care about training our clients. We don't necessarily always want to be willing to take on the time to learn how to operate a different business. And then when we realize we're operating a different business, we get overwhelmed and we shut down because we just want to personal train and work out and pick heavy things up and put them down, But it's not as easy to build it into people's business. So these are three major things that I have seen consistently. But then I started asking a question. I said, well, what if you had a totally unique selling proposition that almost no other Shackley distributor had? That would be pretty good. What if you had a system that brought fitness clients, specifically moms, the ones who are going to be controlling what's coming into their household, into your downline, right? We know that fit, healthy, active people are going to be more likely to take supplements. We know that fit, healthy, active moms are going to be more likely to buy green cleaning products and to be looking after themselves if we can get them, correct? What if you became the gym without having to actually be a gym, right? I think the reason why most of us want a gym is because we think we're going to get more volume and we're going to get more of these quality leads that are going to be more likely to want to consistently take our products. What if you partnered with someone who onboarded your Prove It members, trained them, and held them actually accountable for taking the supplements? What if you could do something like that? Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So why don't you just let me do it for you? And that's my whole message tonight, is I want to help do it with you, but also help do it for you. And you might be thinking, yeah, well, that sounds great. How are you going to do it? And the next question you're probably going to ask yourself is, can you do it? And then you're going to say, okay, well, you can do it maybe. Well, what's in it for you? And ultimately, what's it going to cost me? Because that's what all good, savvy business people do, is they start asking questions. So I say, perfect. I thought you would never ask. Can we do it? Yes, we absolutely can help. We've helped hundreds of moms. Over 300 moms have been through our process to date. Actually, over the last year, we've done a major slowdown because we've had to revamp a lot of things at my studio. This should be probably double that by now, but that's just me being an ambitious leader. But we've worked with 300 moms. We've done it all through remote training, which I believe is exactly what the world is looking for and needing right now, and is going to be moving in this direction in a major capacity. If you are a trainer or have a personal trainer or have a gym, you will notice that the vast majority of them have either completely shut down or they have very quickly transitioned to offering some kind of remote online training for their people. This is where the world's going, and I've been doing it for the last 3 years, which is really cool. We also offer very simple nutrition and very simple accountability for our moms, because I believe we need to exercise, we need to eat right, but even if we do all the right things, often it's very easy to fall off track, so we need to have some form of accountability and some type of community to work through. And the program works, as you can see. These are just a few of our moms saying things like, I made the switch, I lost weight, inches of excuses, and I found confidence, motivation, support, and time for me. I made the switch, and now I'm physically and mentally stronger, and I'm better for my kids. I made the switch, and I feel healthier and stronger, and I found myself again. Very cool. So can we do it? Yes. And one of the things that we use in our program is we actually use the Prove It Challenge, but we do it a little bit differently. And I'm not suggesting that you have to do it this way, but I'm just telling you the way that we run it. We build consistency with the strip and the shake first, because I believe you have to build consistency for people before you can ask them to take on something like a cleanse if we're doing it right. The other thing that we do is, because we are already tweaking their nutrition and making nutritional changes for our clients, they're already going to be seeing some massive changes in the first handful of weeks. So we let their nutrition do that first bit of talking for them and build the consistency with the strip and the shake. And then at week 4, we add in the detox, okay, or the healthy cleanse. Because then what happens is they now have seen their first bump, stabilized a little bit, and then seen a second massive drop. And just to give you an idea of how well it works, in 4 weeks, our moms who did the Prove It Challenge and were good with it, were consistent with it, they lost 10.8 pounds in the first 4 weeks when they went through this process. The ones who did not take Shaklee lost 8.8. So again, interesting. People who are on the Shaklee products did better than those who didn't. Fantastic. Do you want to learn how we do this for helping more moms? Great. What I did is I just put up a quick infographic of kind of how we are a little bit different from various other organizations, various other fitness options. You can see that we do nutrition for our moms. They work out live with trainers, and they also follow at-home workouts. They have personal accountability coaches. They have an online accountability group, because I believe specifically with moms do really well in groups and connecting and supporting one another. And they need that because they function well in that capacity. We also do at-home workouts, and we support them along the way. Whereas if you were, say, working just with a trainer, you might just get workouts with a trainer. If you're going to a gym, you're probably not going to necessarily get workouts with a trainer unless you're paying extra for it. You're probably just getting access to a space, and that's about it. Some other places will have different things, but we do it all. We have weekly workouts designed and filmed by our trainers for moms. So even our fitness component that we do with this, we based it around being a busy mom. I understand that moms, they might be in their home now with their children, or still working and coming home as well, but they don't have much time. At least that's from the hundreds of moms I've worked with. They have told me, I don't have much time. So we tailor all of our workouts to work between 10 to 25 minutes long. And it's something that's easily doable, and we only ask for about 4 workouts in a week. So we're not asking for hours in a gym. We're asking for literally less than 2 hours of their time in a week for exercise. Our moms get their very own accountability coach. In this program in particular, that's a bit of an upgrade. So we actually send text messages to our moms to check in and make sure that they're doing, A, what they're supposed to be doing, but also if they need support, that they have quick, easy access to someone who can actually help them quickly. All right. We do a group weekly coaching call similar to this, where all of our moms hop onto a call and they have the ability to learn, but then also getting any of their questions answered. And we do a whole lot of it more. And I just kind of gave you a quick snippet of the inside of the platform that we've got. On the far right, you can see, yes, we've built Shaklee into this. This is actually, we talk about Shaklee, we talk about Because a lot of the times moms will ask questions. Maybe we've had this experience where clients start asking us, well, why do I take Shaklee and not take something else? And I've got this protein powder. Can I take it? So we go through and we try to explain why we've chosen Shaklee and so a little bit of the science behind it for those who want to actually dig into it. Most people just want to know, what do I take and how often, and off we go. The middle slide in there, that is actually a picture of our online nutrition suite. So eating for moms and for families in general can be very tough to understand and to stay on track, because when mom goes on a diet, the whole house goes on a diet, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that that sets anybody up for success in the long term. So we don't do diets. We actually just teach people how to eat very healthy and how to make it a part of something that they do every day. So what we've done is we've prepared 42 breakfast, lunches, and dinners. We've balanced out the macronutrients. Don't worry about that. But the idea is we're just getting nice balanced meals and real kinds of meals that their kids will actually eat. So things like French toast and pancakes and pulled pork and tacos and stir fries and yes, salads. There's some salads in there, but stuffed baked potatoes are in there too. For each one of the recipes, we've laid out the recipe, a picture of what it should look like, and we've actually done what I call a quick hands video. So a video for how to prepare each meal, and it takes a minute or less for each single video. And on the left-hand side, you can see we've got our workouts. Our workouts are filmed by our trainers. They have 4 workouts a week, plus access to, I believe, an additional 30 other workouts, including yoga and stretching guides and a whole slew of different things. But everything is totally based around the client being a mom, because moms deal with different things than men do, than people who are retired do, than people who don't have kids do. So we have found that because we understand this population the best, because it is the stage of life ultimately that we are going through, we have the best ability to serve those people because we can understand what's going on and ultimately make Shaklee a part of what they're doing in all aspects of their life. So the last question you're saying is, okay, great. It sounds interesting. I am a busy mom running a Shaklee business, or I have a lot of busy moms who are running Shaklee businesses under me, or they have clients who are busy moms. This sounds kind of interesting to me. And you might think, okay, well, what is this whole thing going to cost me? What is the price of this, Graham? Because it sounds like you're selling me something. And my answer to you is simple. As long as you fill out an application and are committed to helping a few busy moms in your organization, you get this for free. Okay? Completely free. And why, right? First and foremost, I want to say I only want to take on 20 business leaders, okay? You can be a distributor all the way up to presidential master coordinator. Sure, why not? But I only want to take on 20. And the reason is because I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I want to be able to actually support your clients for you and do it in a way that actually makes sense for you, so that they are not just getting a little bit of an experience with me, they're getting a great experience with Shaklee, and they're being able to be supported properly through this process, okay? And you might say, okay, well, what, free? That's kind of like free money. And I put the math in there. If you were able to sign up 20 new Prove It challenges, because now you've got a very unique selling proposition, which I'm going to help you with. The people who I take on, I will help you with marketing. I will help you with how you're going to support with the roles that you will play in this, which isn't a lot. Ultimately, I see it as my job is to support them taking their Shaklee products and their fitness, and then I leave it up to you to help support them on the business side of things, or bringing them into that side of the business side of things, because that's to benefit you in the long run, okay? So, I mean, if you brought in 20 moms, that's $475 right there. Boom, just in bonus cash alone, plus all the recurring revenue, because the vast majority of our moms who stay in our program continue to take their Shaklee products. In fact, I have, of my existing moms, 70% take Shaklee and make Shaklee orders on a monthly to bi-monthly basis. Okay, I went through my organization, I had a look. Of the moms who were with me for more than a year and are no longer a client with me, 40% of those people still make bi-monthly, at minimum, bi-monthly or monthly orders. okay? Because they have learned the importance of putting Shaklee into their life. And that's what I want to help do for you, okay? So the reason why I'm doing this is because when everyone works together, everybody wins. And I honestly think this should be literally the mantra of what we do here and what we do here in the OPA, but also what we do here in Shaklee. How you win, I think I've already explained, but just in case, I serve your Prove It Challenge members in a fitness challenge. It gives them clarity and certainty and a reason to take these products. It builds consistent supplementation use into their daily life. And then you set them up to follow them up to have recurring orders, okay? Why do I do it? Well, we get to love on new moms, people that we maybe never would have been able to help, all right? And we get to potentially, bring new members into our business on the other side of things. So if I do a good job, I will get a bunch of recurring new clients, and that's great for me, right? But I also want you to understand that we love our Shaklee family, and I also like Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people get what they want in life, you will too, okay? Or something along those lines. Hopefully I didn't butcher it. But I believe that when we help people, we all win. And I have felt since this whole coronavirus thing has taken off, yeah, we've seen some ugly sides of people, but I've actually seen more human decency and human kindness and human goodness in, I think, the last month than I probably did in the entire last year of my life. And this is kind of one way that I believe we can help each one of you. So what do you have to do? If you're interested in doing this, if you, like I said, if you are a busy mom that's running a Shaklee business, or you have a group of busy moms in your downline, your organization that you think you could help or that are clients of yours, great. I'm just going to ask you to fill out a form. I'm going to give you the link in the next slide, and I will take some time and review them over the next day, and I'm going to reach out to every single person that filled out this application across the board, okay, whether you apply tomorrow, today, or a week from now. But remember, I can only take 20 because I want to make sure that I'm going to do as good a job for you as I would do for my own organization, okay? So I'll leave it at that. I've got my emails. I'm going to start 3 different challenge groups. So if you have people who are ready to go, and what I've learned is this kind of comes and goes in waves. So what I've decided is for the next 3 Mondays, April 20th, 27th, and May 4th, we're doing rolling starts. I need about 2 days of your time, not 2 total days, but 2 days for you to get on a call with me to go over what kind of my expectations are, how I can help you with marketing this, and how to bring more people into the program for yourself, and then also what my expectations are of you, okay? It's not a lot of time, and like I said, it should pay off quite handsomely for us all, which is great. So there's my link, theswitch.typeform.com, and there's some slashes and extensions there, but you can get a picture, and I would love to take on as many as I can. All right, I think that's all that I have for today. I will open it up for questions.
Barbara and Ray, do you want to jump on first?
Yes, I do. Just so everybody is clear on what Graham is talking about is that if people sign up for this program, if you've got some moms who want to sign up for this program, they buy a kit, PIC, and then for the 6 weeks, Graham and Allie will work with them on going through the PIC and the cleanse after 4 weeks and all of the recipes and the online support and for 6 weeks and all of the exercises, in-home exercises and stuff. So that's all free to you. What Graham gets out of it is if those moms want to continue the online training of the exercises, or if they want to do personal training with Allie or with Graham, then he charges a monthly fee to do that. That's what Graham gets out of it. He doesn't get anything out of it until people say, I want to continue, Graham. I love doing these exercises at home, I really want to get some personal training from you or Allie, and they would pay them to do that. So that's what he gets out of it. He gets nothing in that first 6 weeks. You get everything. Anything that your people that join the program, if they buy the PIC, you get the money for that. All the products that they use during that period of time, you get all the money for that, and going forward. They're not in his organization. They always stay in your organization. What he will get, again, is if they want to continue the online personal training that they have set up. That's when he would get income from that.
You want to elaborate any on that, Graham?
I think Ray put it spot on. I mean, my goal is to ultimately service these people incredibly well, give them a great experience, and give them a great experience with Shackley as well. So that ultimately, because for me, I'm a believer, right? I believe in Shackley and it being a part of people's lives. So if I end up getting some clients 6 months or 6 weeks down the road because I've done a really great job and they're loving the program, fantastic. But I want you to understand that you're getting the bonuses. They always stay in your organization. They do not switch to me, okay, in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to ask you for some feedback for sure, absolutely, because I want to find the best way to do this. There's ways that I can improve on it. And I want you to get really great clients who have a reason to use Shackley and a reason to do the Privet Challenge. What I have found in general across the board is that when we have a reason to do something, we follow through and do it. Okay. Think of the last time that you went to a wedding or were in a wedding. You wanted to get in shape and feel better, typically, when we look at the fitness side of things. So you were very focused until the date of the wedding. When there wasn't a wedding happening, say like the last 3 months, our focus isn't necessarily on that. And I think when we can give clients something to focus on beyond just taking the product and losing some weight that way, and we give them a physical outlet and something, very clear for them to follow, what I have found, based on my experience of working with these 300 moms, is they're very engaged with taking product and they do very well.
Yeah, one other thing I wanted to add is that when Graham called me and then talked to Barb and I about the program, this was for OPA. He said that up front. I want this to be for the OPA organization. If he decides to expand that later on, I don't know. But right now, he only wants the OPA organization to have an opportunity to get involved in this. I'll tell you one other quick story. This was it was a couple of years ago. We were in Cabo San Lucas. And it was after Rob had his dinner for all of us while we were there, and we were sitting in the bar having a margarita, and I said, it's too bad, that you can't train me, because I'm telling you what, right now, Graham, I'm tired of being fat. Women probably wouldn't say that, but I did. I'm tired of being fat. I wish you could help me. And he goes, I can. I went, how could you do that? And he said, I have an online personal training program. And I said, when can we get started? And he said, well, we could do some stuff while we're here, and I'll take some pictures of you and figure out what your body mass index is and all that kind of stuff, and we'll get going on the program. So I was on it for 4 months. I went from 200 pounds to 182, so I lost 18 pounds, and I was doing exercises 3 times a week. I was talking to Graham probably once every week or 2 weeks. He would change my program. He would look at what I was doing. It was wonderful. It was just like having my own gym. Now, I don't know if he wants to do that with anybody else, because they have this thing right now that is really for moms at home and stuff like that. But I just wanted to tell you, he's got a wonderful program that he could expand if he wanted to. I don't know if he wants to right now, but he can expand that to guys as well for an online personal training program. It is amazing what he has been able to accomplish.
Well, I think also, given the times we're in right now where everybody's at home, and I was in the grocery store last week, and it was really pretty well stocked, except the ice cream was totally wiped out. And so people are eating a lot of things that maybe they don't eat or don't eat as much of normally. And so people are talking about, you hear about the freshman 15 when you go to college. Well, this is going to be more than that for numbers of people probably, because they're working from home. They're not used to doing that. They're not moving around like they used to. Some people are hiking or walking. Some people are not. Some people are doing exercise themselves or online. Most people, I would say, are not. So if we can integrate something as great as the Prove It Challenge with an exercise program, a nutritional program that people find fun and simple and easy to follow, that can work for their family at the same time. Wow, to me that says win-win. And the concern that when we've spoken to a few people about it was, okay, now who gets the volume and who's the member under and all that sort of thing. Graham has nothing to do with that. That is yours, just like it would be normally. You just have this imported trainer who really knows what this is all about, who's going to help take up the slack that we've never been able to do personally ourselves because we didn't have the skills or talent to do it. So for me, it's an opportunity that is like never been presented before. So, what if that could make a difference in your group? Bring in some young moms and some others perhaps too, and dads could probably get involved too down the line. But what if that could make a difference? Because Graham is right. The person who generally oversees what comes into the house as far as food is the mom. And when you can get a grip on that, particularly when kids are younger, but even as they're getting older, it can make a tremendous difference in the quality of their life. So we have a gift, and Graham is giving us an additional gift, and it just depends on what we want to do with it.
Yeah, and the other thing, and now I'll shut up, but the other thing, and let Graham talk and answer some of these, but the other thing it does is people want community. And these moms have a community for that 6 weeks that they're going through this program, and they're on a Facebook page that Graham has set up so that they can talk and how they're doing and how things are going, and they have questions and all those kinds of things. So they actually develop a community, which is really, really kind of neat. Graham?
I think you guys have said it better than I could. Better than I could, and I think you hit it.
Okay, well then let's open it up. Is there anyone who has a question, maybe that hasn't been answered or that has been answered? So
hey,
go
Graham
ahead with
and Allie, it's Carolyn. I just want to say you guys are rock stars.
Carolyn, we love you.
Love you guys. I was there in Cabo with you, and all things said. You guys are terrific.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Carolyn. Any questions from anybody? Any what ifs or what? Anything like that?
Yeah, I have a question on Dr. Chamber from Watson. So with this program, we would basically just approach our people who are busy, and it's just geared towards women, not men.
Hang on. Okay, well, if there are no further questions, then we're going to wind this up. Thank you so much for all being here tonight. Thank you, Graham, for offering this to us. It's an amazing offer that I can't even imagine that someone else would ever make. And so we appreciate you and Allie both for that, and for all you've contributed to the field, and for your love of Shackley and how you put that out into the world. So thanks for being here. Thanks, everyone, for being here, and we will see you again next month. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.